Okay, we're going to talk you through the journey of a ballot box as it arrives and gets processed at the general election count tomorrow evening. We're just in the early stages of setting up the count centre this afternoon, but we hope that you get an idea of the process we're going to follow tomorrow and how the votes are going to be counted. The ballot box enter Springwood Park at the gate over at the side. They've been collected from the polling stations and are then brought into the car park here, where they sit in the vans until we're ready to collect the ballot boxes within the first reception hall, and where the initial check is done in the first reception hall to make sure that all the material that should have come from the polling station has arrived, and that we've got that information available to be checked within the count centre. The ballot boxes arrive into this main count hall. And this is where the main activity of the evening is going to take place. This is where the ballot boxes are emptied and the ballot papers in each box are sorted and counted. But the first stage when the ballot box arrives in the hall is that it comes over to a table here. It's obviously not set up yet, we're still in that process. The ballot box is checked here, it's recorded as being in the count hall, and then it's allocated to one of 9 mini-count teams who are spread out around the hall. So in the wider area of the hall, what you'll see is the setup to allow 9 mini-count teams to individually count around about 17 or 18 ballot boxes each, and we expect about 6,000 to 6,500 votes from those 17 or 18 ballot boxes. Once the ballot box has been allocated to a mini-count team, it will get taken by a runner to one of the mini-count teams. And they're set up with a supervisor's table here at the front, and then a counters table. Sitting behind the counters table are 8 enumerators, and they're the actual people who will sort the ballot papers and count the ballot papers. So the first stage is to empty the ballot box, and then to sort out all the ballot papers and to count the number of ballot papers in the ballot box. Once we've done that, we check that the number of papers recorded in the ballot box matches the figure that we have from the presiding officer that they've recorded on their ballot paper account. Once we've completed counting all the ballot boxes and totalled up all the numbers, we will know how many ballot papers we have, how many votes have been cast within this constituency, and we'll declare that as the number of votes cast, and that's the end of the stage 1 verification process. So the second stage of the count is when we actually sort the ballot papers by candidate, and then we count the number of votes cast for each candidate. There are also some doubtful ballot papers. Those are ballot papers where, for whatever reason, somebody's been unclear about who they're voting for. Sometimes there's 2 crosses, sometimes they write a 1 and a 2, sometimes there's other marks on the ballot paper, and they're looked at by the candidates and their agents and by the returning officer, and the returning officer makes a final decision as to who that ballot paper is to be cast for, or if it's to be rejected as being void for uncertainty, so we're not clear who the voter was casting their vote for. We then add together the number of votes cast for each candidate, we add in the rejected ballot papers, we add up that number, and that should equal the number of ballot papers that we counted at stage 1 of the count process. Assuming the 2 numbers match, we're then in a position to share the provisional result with the candidates and their agents, and that's done by the returning officer, Tracy Logan. And assuming that the candidates are then happy with the result, or at least content that it's an accurate result, they won't all be happy with it, we move to the declaration, and the declaration takes place on the stage with a lectern on it, and it's positioned over there with a platform on the opposite side of the hall, which has the media from all over the United Kingdom and sometimes abroad there, because they want to show the declaration for the constituency live on television and share it live on radio as well. We expect to have 22 or more media representatives here, and we know that pictures from this count centre will be broadcast live by the national television stations across the UK. I hope that explains something of the process that we'll go through tomorrow, and it gives you an understanding of how we're going to be managing the counting of the ballot papers here for the constituency tomorrow.